So we are now licensed, registered psychologists. We literally just passed the board exam. This video is really our biggest insights from taking the board exam. Yeah. No matter how much you study, you cannot truly prepare for the board exam.
That doesn't mean it's impossible for you to answer it. Stamina.
Yeah, do the process of elimination. It's really about learning how to take a test.
This is the culmination of all of it.
Yes.
I genuinely think that if you study, you will pass. If you're gonna pass, you might as well have good memories.
Yeah.
Looking back on it.
You can feel your heart beating and you can feel everyone just like holding their breath.
She's like, we passed. I was like, we passed.
Oh my gosh,
why did you make that face?
I'm so happy to do it with you, babe. I wouldn't do it with anyone else. Hello, we're back after a huge
How's it going, y'all?
You know what time it is? It's tea time.
It's jazzy time.
Jammy time. We haven't done this in a while, as you can tell. It's cozy psych time. Hello. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since we've recorded a video. So we are now licensed, registered psychologists. We literally just passed the board exam. It's kind of crazy, and we're finally officially doing this, and we don't feel ashamed for talking in front of the internet. Psychologist reacts now. We'll definitely vlog our oath taking. I don't know if this video is going to come out before that vlog, but we'll see.
We shall see. So quite a hectic and busy few years.
It's been the past year or so since we've made our last video. We finished our capstone project, our thesis for me, comprehensive exams,
capstone, thesis, and then
graduation, and then we attended review class for our board exam. So we took the psychologist board exam last September 24 and 25.
So we studied for 2 months
25. Yeah. We studied how many months for that actually? Personally, I studied like 5 months. Anyway, we'll get into that. But this video is really our debriefing video. And as you will see, it's kind of interspersed with a vlog because we wanted to, this is our first time out, like celebration together after passing the boards.
No more requirements.
Yeah.
No more applications. No more studying for tests. Done with all that. This is our first time out.
Yeah, enjoying ourselves as licensed psychologists. So it's kind of wild, and we're so grateful to be here. And I think today we just wanted to talk about like our biggest insights from taking the board exam. Aside from providing a cozy vlog to comfort you all, like it's just some little insights that we think if you are considering taking the board exam, the psychologist licensure exam, particularly in the Philippines, that we have some insights that we've learned, and we'd like to share with you all.
We're gonna try to
condense it. It's our little post-mortem about the boards. So our first one is, and we've received this advice from a lot of our peers. So disclaimer, we went to Ateneo de Manila University, and we cheat.
That's a pretty important thing to remember. So a lot of our education is based off of what Ateneo gave us.
I think it did.
All of our advice or tips also come from that faculty.
Yeah. She took, we both took our master's in counseling psychology. She took her master of practice in psychology. I took my master of arts. So I took a thesis track and she took a non-thesis track. So she took more electives than me. Yeah. Personally, as I took less electives, I felt a little bit less prepared going into the board exam because I think one of the biggest challenges is learning things I've never learned before.
But for me, I took Rorschach. And, you know,
that was actually part of the exam.
It was.
Yeah.
And Rorschach, if for anyone who's taken it out there, it's a big course.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn. And at some point, Selena would always just say,
I was like,
I'm just going to take the L for that.
Yeah, I'm going to take the L because I've never learned this. I've never taken it. And it's so hard to learn if you've never taken it before the class.
For a lot of
it's too complex.
Like it was a bit of a disadvantage, especially for people taking like MA.
I would say so. If I had taken more electives, particularly more electives in assessment, I think I would have felt more prepared. But I think leading up to our our first biggest point for today. It was like we received this piece of advice is that no matter how much you study, you cannot truly prepare for the board exam. And is that good or bad?
Or a bad thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, hearing that advice for the first time, I distinctly remember thinking to myself, that sucks. So what
I
do
know.
do?
Like, why are we spending
prepare?
this much of money on review class and spending like all of our weekends, like
Time.
8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah, and anxiety. All that time spent in anxiety, wondering, am I studying enough?
Yeah,
Should I
yeah.
go more in depth? Because if you can't prepare, then should I prepare more? Or should I just give up?
Should I just give up? Should I just not do anything?
Should I?
And you know what? It was really true. Like, I think after taking the board exam, I really realized.
Didn't get it at
Yeah, at first we didn't get it, like,
we didn't get it.
because obviously you think you have to study. And by the way, we're not telling you not to study. You should study.
Disclaimer, if you study, it will definitely help.
It will definitely help.
But when you take the boards,
I
you
would
will
say,
realize what that means.
Yes, I would say it is more about test rationalization, aka learning how to take a test, aka knowing how to rationalize or do the
Test
process of
makers.
elimination of items in a test. It's knowing how to take a test.
How to see things from the perspective of the test makers.
Yeah, like I would say that's even about like 60 to 70% of the test.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they mean by no matter how much you prepare. Because some of those questions don't really necessarily test your knowledge.
Yeah, because they're so impossible. It's like
Some of
you
them.
you would not learn or encounter how many of
in
these
any of
tests
your
or
classes.
concepts ever in our like
Classes.
8 or 10 years of studying psychology already.
And that's 8 years of studying in taking
Yeah,
various
undergrad
courses,
and grad
undergrad
school.
and grad. So a lot of these questions, I don't think a lot of them even came out in our courses.
Yeah.
But again, that doesn't mean it's impossible for you to answer it. What we mean by rationalization is understanding what do the test makers have in mind.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed that at least in our version of the board exam, the 2025 board exam, was like, I think they tried to be very clear with the how questions were phrased, and they tried to match, I think, what I perceived to be the correct answer among the choices to the test question, like, or what we call the stem, the item stem. Like
Stem is the question.
yeah, like I would say you have to really pay attention to the question. What are the terms they are using? And which one of those terms that they're using in the stem are in the choices? It gives you a huge
It will
clue.
give you clues.
Yeah.
So that's what we mean. Even if you've never encountered the concept before, and there will be a lot.
Yes, that's true.
Trust me when I say I studied because of that.
studied so much.
Because of that tip. I definitely had a lot of anxiety coming into it, but it really forced me to study.
Yeah.
Even things that I feel like are too in depth at some point.
Yeah.
And despite all of that, there was still so many concepts that weren't familiar.
Yes. Yeah.
But again, the STEM will give you a clue, and if you're able to capture that clue,
Yeah.
and I will tell you, okay, expect that sometimes you will space out.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the STEMs, because some of them are long, some of them don't make sense.
They're really long questions. They are really long questions, and a lot of them don't really make sense. Sometimes grammatically, logically, they don't really make sense. So I think it's just you have to learn how to take a test, learn how to
Stamina. and
do the process of elimination. It's really about learning how to take a test. So what does that mean? I think what helped me was I took a lot of practice tests, and I would kind of try to simulate taking the test for long periods of time, because a test, each subject takes 3 hours. So each subtest. So that's advanced theories of personality, advanced counseling and psychotherapy. That's for day 1. And then for day 2, it's the advanced abnormal psychology and advanced psychological assessment. So each of those takes 3 hours.
So I remember in our review classes, their tips were expect that TOP and counseling would be assessment and counseling would be the hardest.
Yeah.
It is hilarious because in the end, what ended up being the hardest was
Like the opposite. Some people who have taken the board exam reported that like these specific subtests are easier, but in our board exam, it was the opposite. Like the ones that were said to be easy were actually the ones that are hard.
you can prepare as much as you want, and that's a good thing. Go ahead and prepare as if
Your life Depends on it. As of your degree, all of your financial investment depends on it, because it actually does.
It kind of does. And that's definitely the anxiety that is going through most of us.
Yeah.
This was the culmination of all of our.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think as long as you
Also,
that kind of leads us into our next point, is that if you study, you already have a great chance of passing. If you come from a course that was certified by CHED and all of those things, that was deemed sufficient enough for, preparation, education, to be eligible to take the board exam, that if you went through these subjects, that if you study and prepare enough, that you probably already have a great chance of passing.
yeah, and I do agree. The same way that Selena studied is the same way I studied. For some people, it works to just read the whole book. I personally
Some people did that we know, but
I'm personally not
we
one
did
of
not
those
do that.
people.
Yeah,
Selena, I remember you would say that you studied in silence to prepare for the boards.
I did.
Well, guess what? There were 3 people coughing around
I
me
know. I think
my board.
what's funny, I wanted to simulate the board exam, but what's funny is, like, you have to be prepared for the ambient noise.
For the worst kind of ambient noise.
We took our test in NCR, so there's like a lot of people.
A lot of people. It's kind of
And there's hundreds of people around you who are like making
Some of them
noises,
sick.
tapping their foot,
Sick from
going
studying.
around, sick, coughing, sneezing, going to the bathroom. So actually, that was something that I did not anticipate. I think I should have studied in a public location. That would have
tell
been beneficial.
Surprisingly, the way that I studied ended up helping me, because
That's so
I
true.
love to
You're so
study
funny.
in noise.
Yeah.
And I
should
love
have
to
done that.
study with music on,
Yeah.
because it helps me also to kind of keep my focus on my studying.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, for some people that works. So if that works for you, that ended up actually helping me during my boards, because the ambient noise was ambient.
So much. That was something I did not anticipate. I thought I was going to operate in complete silence. I don't know why I thought that, but I think it would be worth it to study in a
Ideally,
public
you would
location where there's a lot of people passing by and making noises. I think that prepares you.
I think ideally, Selena would have been right, but I think in reality, you can never anticipate how people will be on that day.
Yeah.
They can be sick, vomiting.
Oh yeah. Apparently Bella was near the restroom, and she heard a lot of retching for whatever reason.
And
We wish them well.
I am glad that I prepared for that level of
We hope they're okay now.
important music.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So be in line with that. Be realistic with your expectations. Be kind with yourself. Maybe the goal isn't necessarily to top the boards. If that's your goal, that's great, and you can study in a way that happens. But sometimes, if you, with the knowledge that's just studying, covering all of the concepts that are normally tested, by studying that you already have a great chance of passing. I think personally that gives me the freedom to be you know what, my best will be good enough, and then on the day that I'm tested, I can't prepare for majority of the questions anyway, so I might as well rely on these process of elimination, things like that that will get you through.
On that note, I really do think that, coming from, again, our own background in education, I do think our education really did prepare us. And I genuinely think that if you study, you will pass.
Yeah.
Based on my experience, and I definitely thought I was going to fail.
We all thought.
I thought I was going to fail.
We also heard that advice a lot of times, that you're really going to feel like that you're going to fail.
But the thing is, this girl looked so confident after the first test. I already felt like I was gonna fail in that first one.
But a lot of people did.
Yeah, but most of the people I was relating to did not show that, and I was over here thinking, oh well, I guess I'll see you next year myself. That's the thing. Trust in your education. If you feel like you've had good education, and if you feel like you studied, trust in that, because the most important thing, and one of the things that I look back on, is the good memories I had studying.
Yeah.
In the end, you're gonna pass. If you're gonna pass, you might as well have good memories.
Yeah.
Looking back on it.
Yeah, that leads us to our next point. It's to enjoy the journey, because it's a very uniquely stressful experience. You might as well create.
It's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah. So how did we make the most of that process? We did it together.
We did it together.
It was like so fun. We did first class together.
Enjoy studying on our own, but
we
would have moments where we just go out, have some tea together.
Yeah, we tried to have a study group, and even if we wouldn't really study, we at least talked about our boards anxiety and like our struggles in studying for the boards. That like it's part of the. Looking back, I'm so glad that we did that.
I'm glad that we had moments where we just debrief.
Yeah,
because you can study as much as you want. Again, going back to the first point, you'll never know.
Yeah.
You'll never know what's gonna be enough. But at the very least, we had those memories to look back on. We had tea together.
Yeah.
We debriefed, we panicked together, we came together. And for me, in particular, I had a B&B with some
Airbnb with some of our colleagues that we work with.
Yeah. Whether or not we crammed more information in our head in those moments, we had moments where we were just snacking together. We were studying concepts with gestures, with
movement,
funny gestures. Your interpretative dancing.
Yeah, that helps sometimes, like matching a thing with something memorable, matching a concept.
More than actually remembering like the concepts, I remember the fun moments.
Yeah,
and it would be such a waste to lose that opportunity, especially with a once in a lifetime experience such as doing your boards.
Yeah.
When you're 50 and you're still working with some of these colleagues, you can look back. Remember when we were studying for boards? I love those. I love those kinds of conversations.
Might as well make beautiful memories amid this very stressful experience.
For me, that's one of the most important things I learned, or one of the most important things I want to take away from my boards experience is, in the end, we passed, but at least I had really great memories in the process. It wasn't all just anxiety.
Yeah, it was all just like studying. It was connection. It was shared.
Fun.
Yeah, shared suffering.
Goofy. Goofy suffering.
And so much of it. Like there's some things concepts that you really do remember because of like jokes or memories that you shared with other people you'll never be able to forget.
It's just so funny. There's literally only one question I was so sure of, just to share with you guys. There's only one question I was sure of in assessment, and it's because I kept joking about it with Selena. It's the most goofy.
And everyone else that she could talk to.
And everyone I could talk to about it is like, the scoring system of 16 PF is 610.
610. And the funny thing is that actually showed up in the test, guys.
So hard when
I laughed too. I was like, thank God for Bella, and thank God I studied with her and that we joked about this, because otherwise I wouldn't remember.
Oh my gosh, all the people that I didn't joke about that when it was like, what was the answer? I was like, I'm so sorry, I wasn't with you. You would have.
That's one point. It could have been like the deciding point. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah. And lastly, I think I wanted to end with this, and I thought it was so special to end with, was that anxiety is not your enemy, and actually it can be a beautiful reminder of how important this is to you. Because personally, I experienced so much anxiety. We did. I couldn't sleep, and etc. Like my appetite really suffered. I feel like I lost weight, and people were asking me like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, definitely not.
Definitely not.
But I think, and it's so unique, like the level of anxiety that you feel, like this collective anxiety that you guys experience when you're all together, and then you're counting down the seconds, the minutes to 8 a.m., which is the start of the test, and everyone's just like, you can feel your heart beating, and you can feel everyone just like holding their breath. That was such a unique experience. And in those moments, I feel like what helped me from not succumbing totally to a panic attack was like reminding myself that the anxiety that I felt told me how much I deeply cared for this profession, because I kind of have forgotten that along the way, preparing, like going through comprehensive exams and thesis and graduation. Like it's so easy to forget why you're doing this in the first place, because like the process has been so long-winded and arduous that it was in that moment when I felt so terrified that I could fail, and that how I just wanted to do well enough to pass, that I was reminded of why I wanted to become a psychologist in the first place. And when I remember that, it really brought tears to my eyes, because I honestly like promised to God that I was like, God, in those last last moments before the test. God, if I I know, that's how you know it was legit. That's how the anxiety is legit. Like that if I pass, I promise I will devote this career in service of your glory, in service of the Filipino community, and I will use what I learned to serve people. That was just, I needed to remember that. And that's ultimately, I think, what got me through personally those 2 really long, really difficult days. Was like that sense of purpose like glowing in my heart. Yeah.
That's beautiful, love. And you would never see because her face was so placid and calm, but you wouldn't know.
My family said that too.
Dog,
they were like
splashing underneath the calm waters.
I told my whole family I was like the most anxious I've ever been. They were like, really, you look so calm and cool.
Yeah, that's what she looked like.
I was not.
It's hilarious. Yeah, and those are our insights, and I hope you picked up something. If you're taking your boards, I wish you well.
Yeah, and we wish you all the best.
I wish you lots of beautiful memories.
If you're watching this video in the first place, you're probably curious. Maybe you search for it, and the fact that you already care.
Wouldn't be getting this in your algorithm.
Not yet, maybe soon, but that means you care. And if you watched all the way through, then that means that you're probably in the process of preparing. That already means you have a great chance of passing. But
I wouldn't search a video about preparing.
Look at us now. When we first started Cozy Psych, we were kind of like, I think we were in the midst of practicum.
Interns.
Yeah, we hadn't even done our comprehensive exams yet. And then we passed, and then
I think comprehensive exams was what killed us.
Yeah.
At that time. And ever since then, it kind of snowballed all of the other requirements since then. But now we're back.
And we want to be more consistent again.
I'm really excited to go back into Cozy Psych.
Yeah.
It's just
it means a lot to us.
And lots of things also that happened were very important to us. So we really had to focus.
Yeah.
Really
we just had to, we had to sacrifice this for a bit in order to actually be prepared enough to graduate and then to take the boards. So now we're here. Now we're licensed psychologists. That's a crazy thing to say. We don't believe it. We have to remind ourselves that almost every day. To be like, wait, I'm an RSci now. We have an RSci.
Are you sure?
Do you trust me? I trust myself. Are you sure? I can't remember how honestly, to be honest, I would check a few days after, every day, because I was and I asked other people, can you check? Am I really on the list?
You can't tell Selena's your neurotic
relationship. I was so anxious about it.
Called me at 3 a.m.
The results came out at 3 a.m.
Conking out.
I woke up at exactly 3 a.m. and it had just been posted by PRC. And no one was messaging yet in the group chat. And I was I called her, obviously. My heart was beating out of my chest.
And her face was sad looking. She always has
I didn't
sad
know I was sad.
And she's like, but that's actually her happy face. It just looks like that.
It was a happy
face,
crying
but it looks like sad face.
I was so happy.
So in my head I was like, tell me. She's like, we passed. I was like, we passed.
Oh my gosh,
why did you make that face? Anyway,
I'm so happy to do it with you, babe. I wouldn't do it with anyone else. We'll always do this Cozy Psych journey together. I think we are what makes Cozy Psych.
I'm feeling cozy right now.
I'm feeling cozy. We're in BGC right now and we're celebrating. It was just apt, I think, to discuss this in our celebration day, and we feel it's a fun time. It's a fun time.
I see lots of cats.
We see lots of cats. It's fun. We'll insert some pictures of cats in this vlog. So if you haven't seen the vlog already, we'll cut to that right now. So bye. See you in the next one. Woo!
Signed copy of that. Sorry, babe. dog.
Then pet the dog.